Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to your everyday yoga flow. Let's get started in a comfortable seated position. Maybe your hands are on your lap or in receiving mode, and we're just going to come in with our breaths with some deep breaths in through the nose and a slow, long exhale. You could keep your eyes closed or open. Let's begin with a deep breath in and a slow, long exhale through the nose, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your mind. Preparing ourselves for this practice. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Maybe focusing on your third eye as you take another deep breath in, lifting up through the crown of your head like somebody is pulling you up. Your spine is tall, reaching towards the ceiling. Lift up, and exhale. Beautiful. Bringing both arms all the way up, reaching up to the ceiling like somebody's pulling our fingertips. And we're lifting our chest, our heart forward. Take a deep breath in here as you feel your lungs expand. Good. A nice heart opening practice. Good. And then lower your hands all the way down, bringing your left arm up and over for a side stretch from the right. Reach up. Good, and then up and over to the other side. Keeping both hips down on the mat. Good, let's do that one more time. Up and over, and hold. Really reach for that side wall, or maybe you're just reaching up, whatever feels comfortable on your shoulder. Good, and then up and over once more, either reaching for the side wall or reaching up to the ceiling. Whatever variation is calling to you today. Good. Coming up, find the mat with your feet. We're just going to windshield wiper the legs from side to side, warming up the hips. Good. Getting all those fluids going through all of our joints. Going to help with our flexibility. Good. Let's come into a lying down position. So keep your toes down and we're going to lower one vertebra at a time. And then we're going to give ourselves a head to toe stretch. Like somebody is pulling our hands in one direction, our feet in the other. And then take another deep breath in here. Maybe you never got a chance to do this in the morning. Maybe your alarm clock woke you up and you had to jump out of bed without doing a good stretch. Squeeze your lower body, squeeze your glutes into the mat. Good. And then bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug, a squeeze as you pull your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around your knees. Good. Pointing your toes up to the ceiling and then dropping the right leg down, squeezing the left knee in to your chest for our wind relieving pose. You could have your toes pointed or flexed. Good. And then switch sides. Pulling your right knee in to your chest. Good. Point both feet up into the air for waterfall. Let's just do some movements as we point and flex our feet and our hands, moving our wrists. Good. And then we're going to roll ourselves up. So let's do a couple rolls here. We roll up. It's going to feel really good on the spine and up. And good. And then come into a boat pose. So we're just starting to engage the core, bringing your legs parallel to the floor, lifting up, up, up. Squeeze. Good. And then crisscrossing your legs, coming forward into your tabletop position. We're going to start to come forward and back, dropping the hips, and then pushing back almost into a child's pose. Forward and back. You can keep your knees together or apart. Forward and back. Keep this gentle. Good. And then come up to your tabletop position, peeking over your right shoulder. Shift your hips over towards the left. Good. Come back to center. Hips go to the right. Look over your left shoulder. Good. Come back to center. Bring your hands almost to the top of your mat, and then dropping your chest down for our puppy pose. We're trying to get our chin to the mat here. We're reaching our arms forward. Take another breath here. Whenever we're pausing, it's good to come back to our breath to make sure that we're breathing properly. Good, and then coming back to our tabletop position. Extending your right leg out, toes pointed down. Good, and once you have your balance, lifting your left arm over your head, palm facing in, belly strong. Good, and then bring your hand and foot out to the side. So this is testing our balance and our strength. So arm goes out to the left, leg goes out to the right, and then you bring it back to center. Just try that again. Leg goes out to the side, arm goes out to the side, back to center, and then lower the hand, lower the knee, and switch sides. Now we have our left leg straight out, toes pointed down, and then right arm goes over our head, palm facing in. Coming back to your breath. Good, and then right arm goes out to the side, left leg goes out to the side. Squeeze it back in. So you're using your core a little bit, bringing your arm out, leg out, and then when you bring it in, squeeze your abs, your core. Try it again. Arm goes out, leg goes out, squeeze it in. Beautiful. Dropping the hand, dropping the knee, flip your toes, come up to your first downward facing dog. I'm going to take 3 long breaths here. While we're here, we can create some movement by pushing our heels into the mat. We can also engage the fingertips onto the mat, pushing our hands away so that we are lifting our hips maybe a little bit higher. Maybe closing your eyes. One more big breath here. Let those heels be heavy. Maybe hold. Good. And then float into your high plank position. Go onto your knees and float down to the mat. Bring your arms forward for your Sphinx pose. Keeping our shoulders over our elbows. And then we are lifting up, pointing our toes, pushing our hips in towards the mat. We're pulling our belly away. So this is just warming up the lower back. Pushing the shoulders away from our ears. Hold. Good, and then slowly lower down. Come up to your upward facing dog. So now we're straightening our arms, lifting our hips slightly off of the mat. Again, shoulders away from our ears. Good. And then over your toes, or you could flip your toes up. You're pushing up into your downward facing dog. Good, let's do a little flow. We're gonna lift our heels, bend our knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift to rise. Lower down, forward fold. Exhale, bend the knees, rise to stand, Reach up, look up, hands to heart center, and then floating your hands all the way down again. Halfway lift, forward fold. Bend your knees, jump, hop, or step into your high plank. And then lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Good little flow. If you're not there yet, it will come to you soon. Everything is a practice. Walk it out. Good. Let's walk our hands towards our feet. So you can bend your knees, take as many steps with your hands as you need to. Drop down into your forward fold. And let's do a little ragdoll, grabbing onto your elbows. Swing from side to side. This is also a really good preparation practice. So if you are going to go and do some power yoga or something more advanced, like an advanced vinyasa, then this is a really good practice that you could do just to warm up and stretch. Coming into your high plank position, hold your high plank, and we're just going to go to a side plank. So putting all of your weight on towards your left hand, pivoting the feet, so we're stacking the toes, and then lifting our hips high. Reaching our arm all the way up to the ceiling, or you can keep it onto your waist. Reach, reach, reach. And then lowering the right hand down and switching sides. So we're on our tippy toes, we drop our heels down, we stack our feet, and then we lift the left arm up. Good, and then lower down. Good. Bend the knees and sit back into your child's pose. A big inhale and exhale, reaching your arms forward, and your body be heavy onto your legs. Good, and then lifting, coming back up into your tabletop position. Flip your toes, downward facing dog. Lifting your left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. And then bending the left knee, we're going to step it through into our high lunge. So bending the left knee, back leg is straight, your back toe, back heel is lifted. Hold. Good. Now we're going to come into a crescent lunge. So get your balance. You can play with it by just lifting your fingertips off of the mat when you're ready, using your lower body strength to come all the way up. Crescent lunge. Lifting your fingertips up, pushing your hips forward, bending the front knee, back leg is straight. Hold. Hold and smile. Good, lower your hands all the way down to the mat, back into your runner's lunge, and then drop the back knee. We're gonna come up for our low lunge. So you could place both hands on your left knee, sinking deep, letting your hips be heavy, feeling this beautiful stretch. Good. Placing both hands down on the mat, flip your back toe, bring your left foot back for your high plank position, and then hips high, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg goes up to the ceiling, three-legged dog, and then bending the right knee, and then stepping it through for your runner's lunge with the right foot forward. Take a moment here. If this is too much, you could always have your blocks to bring yourself up a little bit higher if the floor is a little far away. Good, now we're gonna come into that crescent lunge. So maybe bringing the foot a little bit forward, nice and strong, rise. Good. Bending the front knee. Lifting up. If you feel wobbly, just engage the core. Bring your tailbone in a little bit more, squeezing the legs, lifting up. Good, bend a little bit deeper. Good, and then float your hands all the way back down into your runner's lunge, and then lower the back knee, release the toe, bring your hands just below your right knee this time into that low lunge. Good. Dropping both hands down on the mat, flip the toe, come back into your runner's lunge, taking the right foot back, high plank position. Let's flow it out here. We're gonna chaturanga down, upward dog or cobra, to downward facing dog. Good. Let's lift the heels, bend the knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Bend your knees, rise to stand, reach up. Hands to heart center. And then dropping our hands all the way down. Giving your head a little bit of a shake here. Going a little bit deeper into our forward fold. Good, and then bending our knees. We're gonna put our hands behind our back as we slowly make our way to the back of the mat. Let's go into our reverse tabletop. Bringing our hands behind. We're gonna lift up, squeezing the glutes. Take a deep breath in here. Might have to maneuver your hands a little bit. Make it comfortable on your shoulders. Lift, lift, lift. Don't drop your head. Support your neck. Good, and then lower your hips all the way down. Give your legs a little bit of a stretch. Good, pointing your toes, flexing your feet. Nice. Let's float all the way down to our mat. We're gonna bring our toes and our heels together as we roll down onto our back. Supta Baddha Konasana. Say that 10 times fast. Lower down. And just take some breaths in and out here, relaxing your shoulders into the mat. Letting your knees rest open. Opening up the hips. Maybe even what you can do is a little rock from side to side with your hips. That feels good. Good, and then bringing your knees together, giving yourself another squeeze. And then taking the left knee over the right for a twist. So we're going to drop both knees over towards the right side. You can bring your arms into cactus or out to the side. Just trying to keep your shoulders down. We're only twisting at the waist. And just take a couple breaths. Good, and then bringing both knees up. Make sure you haven't shifted. Make sure come back to the center of your mat, and then taking the right knee over the left and letting both knees fall over towards the left side this time. Come in with your breath, relaxing your shoulders, being mindful of your body. How does it feel now? You might be a little bit warmer than when you started, hopefully. Nice. And then bring your knees to center, unravel the bind, and then relaxing yourself down to our final pose, our Shavasana, where we get to give thanks and gratitude for our beautiful body and our beautiful life, giving us this quick opportunity to do something really helpful for not only our mind, but our body and our soul. Just close your eyes. Maybe visualize a beautiful place, maybe a beautiful beach or a beautiful meadow, somewhere where you feel safe. whether you're alone or with people that you love. Think of that safe, warm, and loving space where you can let go, where you can be yourself, where you can allow the joys of life to enter without judgment or fear or guilt or shame. Take a deep breath in, connect with your heart, connect with your soul, connect with who you really are, who you truly are. If you want to stay in this pose, please do. For those who are ready to close the practice, you can start wiggling your fingers and your toes, maybe bringing your arms over your head, rolling over to one side in your fetal position, just taking a moment to be mindful about how calm you feel right now, and then pushing yourself up as we close this beautiful practice that you could do each and every day. Let's bring our hands to our heart. Give gratitude and thanks for this beautiful day, for this beautiful practice. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.